What's going on, YouTube? I'm back again with my, I want to say 15,000 mile review. I drive a couple of cars, so I'm not entirely sure. I think it's about 15,000 miles with this car. And you know, it's that time of the week again where I got to take the trip, you know, to Washington, D.C. So maybe a little over 15,000 miles at this point, but this is my overview on what it's been like to live with up to this point. And I'll probably mention some minor gripes and complaints or anything like that, but I don't think there's really any, especially for the amount of money I got on this car, you know, or I got for the car. I can't really call it a complaint in a sense, because it doesn't really bother me. And maybe I'm just, you know, I don't get bothered that easy with certain things, especially knowing how much I paid for them. But overall, I think this car has a lot more pluses than minuses. And as you can see, it is probably about, what, 37 degrees out. So I pulled the top down for a reason. I seen this guy yesterday. I wish I could tag him. If I could find the video again, I'll add the video in the description, because I do watch a lot of Miata videos. And I wanted to, I seen him, this is in Colorado actually, and I seen him driving in like really cold weather with the top down and the heat blasting, and I was like, this guy is very bold. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, being that I'm taking the Miata, you know, out anyway. I'm gonna do that until I get, you know, on the turnpike or whatever, because at that point I just put the top up and just go do my thing. But you know, I was just pretty hyped that he did that, so I figured I'd do that today. And before I get in here, as you can see, I'm on my Pirelli snow tires here. These are stock, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that before. You can buy these tires at the Mazda dealership. They have them sitting there. You can look in the service shop and they have an option. I'm sure they do this in all cold weather areas that has snow. They just have them there promoting them so they can sell them, kind of help you out so that you can drive your sports car in the winter or in the snow. So as you can see, nothing's changed with the ND Miata. This is the ND2 2021 all white Miata. I don't know the official color of the white, but you know, this is the sport model. I do plan on doing a few upgrades. You got the manual transmission, of course, which if you're driving anything else, shame on you if you are capable of driving a manual transmission. So I don't have an LSD here. I don't have the Brembo package, although by the time, I want to say by the summer, in about 6 months, I'm hoping to have at least half of that. I am going to get a set of wheels and tires for this car, as well as the 8.6, as you guys know. And I plan on putting some type of spoiler on this car. And a more, I think a heavier front lip, like a more aggressive, I said heavier, more aggressive front lip, carbon fiber, and a carbon fiber spoiler on the back as well, to kind of round out the build a bit. I think it's wide enough. I don't think, I've seen a couple of wide body kits, but I wasn't really too interested in them as far as the Miata is concerned. But I do plan on getting a diffuser so that I can relocate my exhaust, my dual exhaust. I want it going out the middle, so I plan on doing that as well. So far, that's my overall plan. Big brake kit, the BBS wheels maybe, or some type of really cool wheels that I think would look good on this car, and the limited slip diff, so therefore I can, you know, have some fun on the track with this thing. Right now it's just mainly my commute car, my street car, and I'll tell you why here in a bit. Let's get to driving. And as you can see, wait, before we do drive, I'm sorry, one of the pros to this car, especially when you're traveling, as you can see, I have my bag here, I have my camera stuff there, my wallet, and I'll show you how I pack in the trunk. before we leave here. I think this space, to be honest with you, is very practical. I could have fit pretty much everything that's right there in the front seat in this trunk and had plenty of space to close it, but I decided to keep that up front because it has my computer and stuff in it, and it won't move around as much up here as it would in the trunk. So I was just showing you guys the trunk space because I know some of you see videos or reviews on this car, and normally the trunk's empty, so you guys get to see I carry a suitcase for one, obviously, and I still have room left to put anything else I needed to in there for my travels. And excuse the mess again, this is a daily driver, so you guys get to see, you know, real life scenarios. I could clean this. I'll probably clean it once I get to my hotel, but either way, let's get on these roads. So what is this, 15,000 miles? I'll get the number eventually, but what do I like so far? Well, to be honest with you, I don't have any complaints about this car, minus the brake sign. I don't know if you guys can see that, but when I'm in low gears, the brake sign comes on. I did talk to Mazda, and they told me that it's a very easy fix, and they gave me a quote. It was like 400 bucks, but they told me not to worry too much about it. But I had planned on getting the brakes redone anyway, so it doesn't bother me as much now that I know that it's not an emergency. For those of you who have a Miata, you could definitely tell me if you had that problem. Please leave it in the comment section. I would like to know what you did in particular. But you know, that's probably one of the only gripes and complaints that I've had about the car. Some people that I've, you know, listened to on YouTube was basically saying, you know, thanks to the ND3, they widened the screen of this car. For me, that screen really doesn't bother me at all. I don't really pay attention to it that much unless I'm using the GPS. I think it's wide enough for this car. And I was one of those guys that love those big screens and like the Teslas and everything like that, the little iPad screens. And I think what happened is with the people over time is that they got used to having big screens in every single car. So even if you can even see Mercedes and all these other companies adopting these really big screens. And for me, I don't think it bothers me that much, because in this car, you're just worrying about the drive, man. The drive, I do so little staring at the screen in this car just due to the fact that it's so engaging to shift the gears and go through some nice roads like this and just drive, man. I don't really pay attention to that screen. So for me, it's not something that bothers me too much, because in all honesty, all I care about is the drive and, you know, enjoying myself and relieving some stress, you know, maybe clearing my head or something. So the screen is an afterthought for me. The speakers could be a little bit better, but again, I always second back to the price point of what I got this car for. And oh, that was a little crazy shift, but I always second back to what I got this car for, and I'm like, you know what, I shouldn't even complain about that, because again, the speakers are a very easy fix. You can hit up Best Buy and get a top brand, some Pioneers, or some not Bose, but like, what else they got over there, some kickers that are really good, like for competition sound systems, and you can get that premium sound that you want for probably like 200 bucks. So that's definitely a cheap mod that you could definitely go for and be happy with. I don't think the sound in this thing is a deal breaker at all, because this is a Roadster, man. Like, if you haven't driven a Roadster before, you need to give it a shot, because in my opinion, you're not in this car for regular car things, if that makes sense. Like, you are in this car for the enjoyment of driving, not necessarily I need to hear premium sound. There are cars for that. There are SUVs, there are luxury cars that offer the premium sound system. And this car does have a Grand Touring trim that you know, has a Bose sound system in it. Although I don't know if it's any better, how much better it is than what's in this car now, and nor do I care, to be honest with you. I think if you really want the total package, just get the Grand Touring trim, and I think you'll be happy with that, to be honest. For me, it's just the roads, man. It's all about the drive. There's no other car I think in this segment, or hell, I don't even think period, to be honest. But again, I haven't driven another car, so I know there are some people in the comment section that would say, well, you haven't driven every car. I understand that, and again, I've driven a lot of cars, a lot of good cars. There's nothing that can replicate this feeling when you driving the Miata, man. There's nothing out there that can replicate the feeling. And for a status update on the top down, having a top down in 38-degree weather, just kick that fan speed up a bit, aim these things up towards your face so your ears don't freeze, and the heat blows plenty. Keep the windows up a bit maybe, and you'll be good. You know, I feel great. I don't have any issues here. Heck, I have a beanie too if I need to just throw a beanie on. But for me, dude, the amount of enjoyment that you get out of a vehicle, I don't think measures up. I don't think any other car measures up to this car in particular. Again, you guys know I love my 8.6 to death, but boy, I would be lying to you if I didn't say that this car offers a completely different feeling. This is probably the car that, and maybe the S2K, from what I hear from a lot of people, I've never driven the S2K, so I don't know. But, you know, this car makes you feel good. This is, you know, a lot of people would say, like, what's the car that will make you feel happy with your purchase, or you know, that makes you feel great? It's this car. Not even close. As soon as you get in this car, you got a big smile on your face. They call it, I think this car invented the smiles per gallon, you know, in my opinion, as far as like having the excitement to being able to drive a car like this. You know what, I'm gonna go straight. Is really rewarding in a sense, and I for one am definitely going to recommend this to anybody. If you've never driven a Roadster, you got to have one in your lineup. You have to. If you can afford a second car, for those of you who have a family like I do, you know, for those of you who need the space, obviously get a car that you need. But I don't care if you got to go rent this thing. If you can afford it, please go get a freaking Miata, because it'll be one of the best decisions you ever made for any enthusiast that just loves to drive. This is the perfect package. This has everything you need. And the crazy thing is, you guys got to keep in mind, I got the very base sports model. You know, I don't even have the Grand Touring or the BBS Recaro package. I really would like that, but I'm not trying to pay $40,000 for it when I know I can just change the seats, change the brakes and all that just for far less. And if you want the power, if you think that the power is underwhelming, I would tell you right now that it really isn't. The power in this car is way better than, I would say, most of what you would see on the street, because it's quick enough. It does everything that you need the car to do. It's quick enough off the line to where you're having fun in traffic. It gives you the gas mileage you want. Like I told you guys before, I can push about 40 miles a gallon in this car if I wanted to. So it hits all the boxes that you need it to hit. And again, if you are in the market, even in the wintertime, it's cold as heck out here, just put on, they got snow tires for the car. They want you, this car wants to be driven. And for a car at this price point, 30,000 and below, for a car that you want to drive, that's completely reliable, look no further, man. This car is it's the total package. I don't even have any mods on this car yet, and I'm still having fun as if I had it completely modded out. I can't even wait until I put a turbocharger in here, you know, to feel the difference in you know, speed and power, you know, later on when I decide to upgrade the speed, because I'm keeping this car as well, you know. But that's all I got, guys. That's my review. I love this car. I love driving it. It offers everything you need a car to offer you, and more, because you got a convertible top. And thanks to the guy in Denver, like I said before, I hope I can find his name so I can put it in his video in the description. But thank him. I would thank him for showing me that it's okay to put the top down in 38-degree weather. So I'm doing that. And again, it may look crazy, but hey, I'm doing this crap too, you know. I'm right with him, because this car is just too fun to not do that. And the heat is good enough to where you don't feel like you're freezing anyway. And I think that's all I got, fellas. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the feedback that I've been getting on my videos. Thanks for the love. And again, I'll try to give it back as best way I can in giving you quality content. So thank you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.